we move to the main card, live on pay-per-view. We kick things off in the featherweight division. Swanson versus Siver.
$145
from Mr. Siver. And his opponent, Swanson. $144 from Mr. Swanson. Featherweight action kicking off the main card. Swanson and Siver. Next we move to the middleweight division. The Filipino wrecking machine, Muñoz versus Tim, the Barbarian Boetsch. For the Barbarian. And his opponent, Muñoz. $185 for the Filipino wrecking machine. Gentlemen, let them know. The next fight also takes place in the middleweight division. Tim Kennedy versus Gracie. Gracie. And his opponent, Tim Kennedy. $186 for Mr. Kennedy. That's a hell of a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Hodger, Gracie, and Tim Kennedy. Next we have the co-main event of the evening in the featherweight division. Frankie, the Answer, Edgar, versus Charles, the Bronx, Oliveira. First up on the scale, Charles Oliveira. $144 for Mr. Oliveira. And his opponent, the former UFC lightweight champion of the world, Frankie, the Answer, Edgar.
Tad over. There's a space. You're a little over. Just a little. Yeah, it's touching. $146 for the former champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Oliveira and Frankie Edgar. Now let's take a close look at the two men involved in the main event of the evening.
I've been dreaming about this fight with Anderson Silva since I started MMA. I've envisioned beating him. I'm undefeated. I refuse to lose. I am ready to be the UFC champion. I'm going to win this fight.
This is the first time I've ever looked at a guy and I've said, this guy could be the guy. He could beat Anderson Silva.
On paper, I'm a terrible matchup for him, and he knows that. He knows I'm not in there to just share the octagon with him. He knows he's not going to beat me before we step in that cage like he's beating a lot of other guys.
I want Anderson Silva to Give me a shot, please.
I think right after I beat Mark Muñoz, Anderson definitely didn't want to fight me.
Não tem muito eu não querer lutar. Eu luto com qualquer um. Eu luto porque eu gosto. Eu me sinto vivo fazendo isso. Eu amo o que eu faço.
Silva.
These titles, like greatest of all time, you know, he's earned that, and I have a lot of respect for that, but I'm not fighting the myth, I'm fighting a man, and I'm a tougher opponent than anybody else he's ever fought.
Looking to finish it right here. Oh, man!
O Weidman é um atleta completo. Ele tem um bom jiu-jitsu, tem um bom wrestler e luta bem em pé. Eu não tenho um bom wrestler, eu preciso treinar o meu wrestler para poder me comparar e chegar ao nível dele.
He's gonna have to worry about my takedowns, but at the same time, I'm not afraid to start aiming some punches at his face.
Oh, man, that guy hits hard.
Cada um vai mostrar aquilo que tem de melhor no dia da luta. Ele vai usar as armas que ele tem e eu vou usar as armas que eu tenho para tentar vencê-lo.
I'm not really too concerned what he's gonna do. I go out there and do what I do, mentally and physically break my opponent. And once I beat Anderson Silva, I'll be the man at middleweight.
Segurando aqui, ó. Quem quiser tomar, subir, bater o peso e cair dentro. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing the challenger, undefeated in mixed martial arts competition, Chris Weidman.